Aloha friends, it's Robert Stehlik with Blue Planet Surf. In this video, I'm going to share my morning exercise routine with you. It's something I do pretty much every morning after I get up. It takes me about 10 minutes. Before I have my coffee, I'll do this routine. First, I just hang from a pull-up bar, let my spine just kind of stretch out, lengthen, and just relax. I take about 10 slow breaths in this position, and then maybe twist the spine a little bit, just let it all stretch out and let the spine just pull out. And then I lift up my legs at about a 45-degree angle or so, and just pull in my core and just kind of strengthen the core a little bit. It's also a stretch, but also a core exercise. Then I just hang again for another 5 breaths or so, 5 or 10 seconds, and then I follow it up with one pull-up all the way up. And that was my stretching thing in the morning, first thing. Then I stand up straight, go down on my knees with my toes tucked under, and this is a really good stretch for the toes and feet. Those can get pretty tight when you're doing water sports and so on. And then I stretch out my forearms by pointing my fingers back. I sit on my ankles and then just stretch the forearms out like that, and then go into a child's pose, make myself as small as possible. This is a really good lower back stretch. Then I bring the arms forward, and I just take my time to do all these movements pretty slow. This is a good stretch for the shoulders. Then I go on all fours and I do some cat-cow poses. Basically exhale on the cat pose and inhale on the cow pose. Exhale on the cat, inhale on the cow pose, and I do these fairly quickly, just kind of filling my body up with oxygen, getting ready to do my push-ups. I try to do about 60 push-ups every morning. I just that's a good way to get the heart rate going and stay strong. I start with my hands pointed forward, with the fingers pointed forward, and the hands pretty much directly under the shoulders, and do relatively quick push-ups. This is a good workout for the triceps, the back of your arms, and your chest obviously as well, but more of a tricep workout. And then I turn the hands more inwards, about 45-degree angle inwards, still under the shoulders, and that's more of a chest workout. I try to do another 20, kind of vary the speed. Obviously quicker, shorter push-ups are easier to do than the slow, deep ones, but it's good to kind of vary it up a little bit. I usually try to start with quicker, and then I try to slow down a little bit towards the end. So I try to do 20 of those, and then I put my hands pretty far apart, kind of underneath my elbows, and then I try to do another 20 of the push-ups in that position. And once again, you can start a little bit quicker and then slow down the pace towards the end, and then usually like the last few, like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I try to go really slow, and then I go side to side a little bit on the last one, just to really work it out and make sure I can't do another one. So yeah, doing that every morning definitely gets my heart rate going and all that. So after I do those, I put my knees wide and do it like a wide knee child's pose, just resting, and I take some breaths to just catch my breath in this position. It's just kind of a good stretch and resting, bringing my arms forward. And this is a good stretch for the lower back and hips and shoulders. And then I come up to a Cobra pose, it's called, where this is also a good lower back stretch, just stretching the spine out, just maybe twisting it a little bit, just getting all loose and stretched out, catching my breath again. And then I go into a downward dog, just stretching out the hamstrings and the legs, and with a straight back, straight legs, stretching out the ankles and feet as well. Then I jump forward into a squat, and this is a good stretch for the hips and just loosening everything up, lower back too. And then put my feet together, toes touching, stand up straight, arms stretched out, making myself as long as I can, and straight up and down, just stretching it all out. And then slowing down my breathing, and then I do a forward bend, forward fold, touching the ground. You know, if you can. At first I wasn't able to touch the ground, but more as do it, the more flexible I have become. Then I roll my shoulders back, lift up the shoulders, roll them back, pull them down, hold it in that position for a moment, and then this has been a good exercise for my back, especially when I'm sitting a lot or flying and so on, sitting in the car. This is a good exercise for my neck and back. And then I bring my head forward and pull it straight back. It's kind of a funny looking exercise, but this has been really good for my neck as well. So that's it for my morning routine. And now I'm going to show you one more exercise that I like to do almost every day. This is a really good exercise if you have any issues with your shoulders. When you're paddling, a lot of times you have the forward rotation, so having this external rotation just kind of balances out your rotator cuffs. So you put a band under your foot and then you lift up the opposite arm. You want to do it on both sides evenly. Just keep an eye on your thumb the whole time. The way you twist your arm, you should be able to see the thumb all the way from the bottom to the top, and just kind of twist your arm up. It strengthens the rotator cuff muscles in the back of your shoulders, and those are kind of important to keep your shoulder joints tight and keep it from moving around a lot when you're paddling. So especially for people that paddle a lot, they can develop shoulder issues from that repetitive motion, always pushing forward and not having enough exercise for the rotator cuffs the other direction. So this is another good exercise, just pulling apart your arms. And then here's a couple stretches with a paddle. Before I go out in the water, I like to kind of stretch out my shoulders and my back a little bit. I like to use the paddle. You know, this just either before or after. It's good to do it when you're a little bit warmed up. You don't want to stretch too much when you're not warmed up yet. Slowly start, you know, warm up a little bit before you do too much stretching. But this is a good one for the shoulders and back, and it's kind of loosening up a little bit. Here's another exercise that I mentioned in the Stand-Up Paddle for Dummies book. This is good for people that have tennis elbow, kind of the pain in the front of the elbow. It's a TheraBand. You hold it in one hand and then have that crossover on the other hand. So hold it like that, kind of thumbs opposing, and then stretch it out in front of you, twist the band, and then you let go of that tension. And it strengthens the muscles basically in your forearms. So those are some of the exercises that have worked really well for me. Hope they work for you as well. Thanks for watching. Aloha.